Welcome back. I hope it wasn't too long of a break for you guys. I hope you missed us because we missed you, and nevertheless, it's time for qualifying here in Monaco, and this will be quite a historic one. We've got Fantasy Era, plus qualifying mistake rate, plus traffic, plus the spare car ban. Who's gonna take upon the Principality? I have no idea. Then we get into Q1, which has a 1% chance of rain. There's a 45% chance of rain for Q2, and 60% chance of rain for Q3. That's also important shootout. So this could be one session to remember.
Yep, indeed. We don't know who could get pole, we don't know who could be eliminated. For us.
But let's make some predictions to get started, shall we?
Yeah. Which ones are you going? Who are you predicting, Rob?
I think both AlphaTauris, both Hasses, one Williams, and one Aston Martin.
I'd say both AlphaTauris, both Hasses, a Aston Martin, and a Williams. As the first one on track is Kirasima de Rosa, and I think we can see rain on the visor pretty much a bit.
Just a little bit. Nevertheless, De Rosa will be the first one to settle up, but this track is so short, it's difficult to get clean air for yourself in qualifying.
Yep, indeed.
So, we're gonna stick on board with De Rosa, of course. The track's not gonna get any wetter for Q1. Ooh, a little bit of a bump there into the Grand Hotel hairpin. Looks like he was really pushing right from the get-go to get some heat in those tires, because tire temperature is always important. If you don't get your tires in the operating window, there's so much time you can lose here.
Yep, indeed.
Nevertheless, De Rosa will be the first out of 22 cars to settle up in this run and in this session. We're gonna stay on board with him and talk you through this lap, as we had the marshal walking over the track, walking on air. That was something else, but nevertheless, here we go with De Rosa. I'm not even sure that was a marshal, but here we go. It's a short run down to start, devote no heroics. Brake hard and firm, turn in early and get on the throttle as quick as you can. Skirt as close to the wall as you dare, but don't dare hit it. As up towards Beau Rivage and towards Massenet, clip the apex nicely and stay to the left before you switch to right the casino. And that's a very brilliant first sector, but it's not done just yet. Down the hill to Mirabeau, he didn't avoid that bump, and towards down to Mirabeau. Once again, a little bit bump down towards the Los Hairpin, now to Portier. Get on the front and then turn in towards Portier 2 and get on the throttle as quick as you can. Maximize the exit for this section through the tunnel and towards the Noel chicane, stopping just shy of 300 kph. 40.0 in the middle sector for De Rosa. He's already a little bit faster than Andrea Federi and Laura Chung, so that's good news for him. And towards the swimming pool chicane, the second part is especially difficult, especially with the narrow distance between the walls on this version of the track. Next up in towards Rascats, and very quick on the change of direction there with Kirshma De Rosa, but that's it for his lap. Let's see what he's going to set. Is 1 minute 0.7. I don't think I've ever seen a lap this quick at Monaco and no C car, but nevertheless, so there it goes into second, or Chunk goes third. Here we have Julius Anderson.
He goes on fourth. Galloway goes up to fourth.
He was impeded by
yeah.
Lopez only down in P4. Willis goes third. Fraser third. This is very strange, as Perrin now goes fourth. Make that Burring in P4. Everyone wants to take P4 in this session, apart from Griffiths.
Yeah. Griffiths up to 8. Now Armour Car next to cross the line.
Is only 7th as Ron Mochin. He goes all the way down in 11th. Gamba only 13th as Roke.
Roke
does Kipok 7th. Wilson up next. Wilson goes into third. That is a brilliant lap. Patel goes second.
Yep. Now Miklos Gal next to cross the line goes only 18th. Roke up to 4th. Felix Sontag. He goes up to 9th.
That's
Yep.
one hell of a session. Both Hasses in the top six. This was This is completely unpredictable. Like Hiroshima De Rosa was the first to settle up and has remained first. Maybe
Yep.
because he avoided all traffic, or maybe he was just very quick today. So
Yep.
far.
Yeah. Indeed. And in the bottom six, we have Franco Lopez, Roland Marchin, Franco Gamba, Miklos Gal, Jake Galloway, and Julius Anderson.
Both the reigning champion and the championship leader are in a whole lot of pain right now. We still got plenty of time. No, virtually no chance of the rain intensifying, so it should remain dry for the rest of this Q1 session.
Yep. Indeed.
By the way, what were the results here last season? Because I don't remember in qualifying and in the race.
I don't think I can remember because I know I didn't commentate that one, and I don't think I can remember much because at the time I barely watched qualifying.
Reading for the chat predictions in the meantime, Joe asked as well. Dennis went for both AlphaTauris of Williams, both Aston and the Haas. Feng Chana went for both Williams and Aston, a Haas and AlphaTauri and the Mercedes. He might be onto something. Joe went for both AlphaTauris, both Haas, Williams, and an Aston, which is I think is the same as mine. No, I'm not sure. I was a pit crew guy, not a marshal. My bad. I was walking on over the racetrack on air. But yeah, got some predictions. Don't forget to give us some more if you want to. It's not mandatory. Looks like we still got the Karam garage meanwhile on our right.
Yeah, of course, both fast drivers, fifth and sixth. No, that's actually good laps for them.
I expected both Hasses to go out, but they're doing incredibly well so far. This is definitely a big surprise. And Monaco never fails to shock us. Don't forget, spare car ban is in place. If you mess up, that's the end of your session. Even if you make it through to the next session, if you crash in Q1 and you make it through to Q2, you won't be able to go out again.
Yep, indeed, of course. Now on the next runs, traffic's going to be a key factor here. As now the first one out on track is Julius Anderson, who
And the
is
big question is,
second.
if you're someone in the top 6 who should be safely through, how much are you gonna risk it?
Try and take it nice and easy. Try not to make a mistake.
Yeah, but track evolution can be really big here, and you can get knocked out by it, so you have to keep that in mind. Jake Galloway in the Ferrari also in the drop zone is one hell of a surprise. But yeah. Of course, Galloway had traffic, so did Franco Gamba, so you have to keep that in mind. But there's no guarantee these guys will have clean air on the remainder of their runs. So if they get traffic again, they could be in real trouble, or if they make a mistake, so anything can happen in Monaco, and it usually does. As Julius Anderson is going to be in a lap shortly, the man in last place at the moment. And Rach, do you mind taking us through a lap of Monaco with him?
Yep, indeed. Just so, as we do have a few cars trying to come out on track, who will be the odd one out to stay in the garage? We will find out. Franco Gamba just comes out on track. Who else is going to join him? Anderson starts his lap. He has clearer. That is good for him. He goes into Thunderbolt. Now going to the S section. Now we're going through past Casino Square. As actually it's Felix Sontag is the last one who's going to stay in the pits actually, and he's up on his personal best as Julius Anderson by just over a tenth, and he's 3 tenths down on the Rosa, but we'll see once we get to the middle and final sector. Goes through to the tunnel, and let's see what he does in middle sector. He's still improving, continues to improve. He's over 2.5 tenths up on his personal best. So it's looking good for now, but he's got to keep on improving if he wants to get out of the drop zone. As now he's going for Raskas. He has to find the corner of Anthony Nose, and now he has to start finish rate. And he will cross the line. What's this lap going to be? He's only good enough for 17th. He just misses out Burning Pierce goes up to 4th.
Yeah, sorry about the delay. I had to deal with something. I mean, sorry about me being quiet, but I just got back. Hopefully, I won't have any other issues, but if I do, I'll mute myself. Yellow improved into P12. That's a little bit shaky for the moment, given how close the pack is. Lopez
Ooh,
might not be able to improve, but let's see. He does,
he's
but only into P15. Just about safe.
Yep. Muchin next across the line doesn't improve, stays where he is.
That's surprising. He was up in the middle sector. Meanwhile, Roke stays fifth fastest. Griffiths doesn't improve. There's Chung. Roman Quag. As we get some more raindrops, but the track doesn't appear to be wetting up. Roman Quag does not improve. Armor Ka, he does go up the second place, not the front row, because this session does decide the front row.
Yeah,
Gallon to 40th, Chatfield to 10th.
Gamba,
That's
he's got to
Gamba needs
improve.
this improvement. He's down in last now, he's up to second. Wilson was jostling a little bit for position there. The Rhino, she won't be improving on this lap.
Yep, he's gonna stay. She's gonna stay where he is. Of course, Patel, he's not on an improvement at the moment. Currently in 4th, and
But
he will
he's
stay
safe
there.
for
Yeah,
the time being.
for now. For now. And that's the second rod's done. And at the moment in the drop zone, we have Cupuck, Lopez, Willows, Griffiths, Anderson, and Muchin.
One hell of a surprise, of course, and plenty of other people in the danger zone. Gallon Galloway, so close to elimination there.
Don't forget Chung because she's pretty much close in that as well.
Yeah, and there's a big 2/10 gap from Chunk to the next car, which is Hispanian.
Well, of course, everyone's within a second of each other as well, so that's how close it is.
One of the good things of the fans here, of course. I'm not saying like it has good things and bad things. I think it's mostly good things. Obviously, the unpredictability can be considered a bad thing. Just depends on who you ask. I don't think Hesperian will consider it a bad thing by any stretch of the imagination if you ask him, but some other people might disagree. Nevertheless, yeah, I suspect we'll have probably one run left, maybe in extreme case two, but this could be a very entertaining climax to this Q1 with so many big names either in drop zone or under the threat of it.
Tag now coming out on track. Of course, he stayed in the garage for the second runs, but he is coming out for his second run. Currently in
Saver's
12th.
prediction is both Haas, both Williams, both AlphaTauri, so the standard prediction, okay.
Yeah. Sontag currently in 12th, looking on course to go through into Q2, but he's got to keep it clean and stay out the drop zone.
Yeah, it'll be touch and go, really.
Of course, this track is is quick in these cars, so of course we don't know if it's gonna be like 2 runs or 1 run left. So yeah, I think it's most
some
likely
people
gonna be
might
the
be the
penultimate
second.
runs. Yeah, this could be the This is pretty much the penultimate
Not for
run.
everyone.
Yeah, not for everyone, of course.
Looks like DeRosa is being a little bit impeded. Won't matter either way since he's safely through. But Zontag, I'm not sure about Zontag if he can count himself safe just yet. If he can improve a little bit, I think he might be in the safe zone. But right now, there's plenty of people that can dislodge him off his P12.
He starts his lap now. I think we can commentate on this one.
Yeah, up the hill we go. In towards Massenet. Clipping that apex very nicely and sticking through the left. A lot of good aero balance needed in that section of the track. And towards Mirbo, took a lot of curb there on entry. And he's 2.5 tenths down. That looked like a scruffy first sector. 4 tenths down on the leader.
His first sector didn't actually look that bad. His personal best on that spot.
I think his lines were just a little bit too extreme, and it's those fine margins that make the difference. There was one hell of a big difference there. He's lost another 2.5 tenths. He's half second down on his personal best, so Either he darts into the pits as quick as he can and hope he can get another lap in, or just pray that he can make it safely through.
Yep,
Looks like
indeed.
Wilson and Chung, the two women on the grid, are in the pits right now.
Chang's on track, wasn't staying in the garage.
She might feel confident that she doesn't need to go out right now, because she is in a relatively safe position even if she's in a Haas. As Zontak doesn't improve, Monchin and Roke will be starting some laps, as will a whole host of other people. Meanwhile, U.S. Anderson is currently improving
He's up by a
a tenth and a
tenth.
half.
Yeah. At the moment, if he can gain more time, he could actually get out the drop zone, but we will have to wait and see.
He might get there up amongst up there with Gal and Gal and Kupok. Let's see. He crosses the line, gets there, just as I said, into 16th, which is for the moment safe, but might very well not be because here comes
Lopez,
Franco Lopez.
he's up by only a little bit, but he's gone up by even more, but he's up to
He's knocked
14th.
Anderson back into the drop zone as Daniel Fraser is on a big improvement. Goes
Oh,
6 and there's been a crash for
Federi!
Derry and the Renault.
He's out as
Andrea
well.
Federi's out this session. He may have made it through to Q2 with a brilliant lap time in putting P5, but he'll take no part in Q2.
Yep, and of
And he
course
just
the
understeered
Renault.
the second part of the swimming pool chicane. That's a very common mistake to make on a left-hander, and this happened to
Yep,
him.
and that's going to
Renault
compromise
has damage. As long as he can make it into the pits and get repaired, he can continue. And meanwhile, all the other drivers have been majorly impeded.
Yep, indeed, that is not good news for the others, but even worse for Federi, he's out of qualifying.
Yeah, indeed, he'll have to settle for, which means that unless somehow he gets knocked out, which I doubt, he'll be starting P16 on the grid tomorrow.
Yep, indeed. Willows doesn't improve. It's really bad news for him because he's done in 20th.
I don't think he has so much time left.
Yeah, but he could be. Actually, yeah, he could be out.
And this traffic caused by Federi's crash has really hurt a lot of people. God doesn't improve. He didn't need to either way. He was safely through.
Yep, indeed. Of course, we still have to look at him because Yuri's going to get him out. As now the game will be paused. Just hold on for a moment.
Yeah, we're gonna get back shortly.
Yep. Did Jake cross the line? I don't think he did.
Just to know, Galloway is also gonna be out.
Yeah. He actually could be as well. That's really bad news.
The race winners from the last two races will be out of Q1 this time.
Yeah, that's really bad news for Jake Galloway.
And Monaco is the one track you do not want to be out in Q1 in.
I see. Well.
Here goes Laura Chan. Yep. No, there just isn't enough time. These guys are going to need to come into the pits and then get serviced and go back out on track and then do time as well. Chang actually has improved in the last sector, 14th place.
Yep, indeed.
There's a little bit of a traffic jam behind Franco Gamba, meanwhile.
Yep, indeed.
Wilson got out on track.
I mean, she's pretty much safe, but unfortunately for Jake Galloway and Joseph Willows, they have been caught out and they are shockingly out.
Yeah, unless they can perform some sort of miracle, or the pin lane being blocked. I just don't see that happening right now.
Yeah, lucky escape for Gal. He's actually made it through, it seems. Same with Lopez as well.
For the moment, yeah. But something could still change. Somebody could still go out there and change things. As Amelia Wilson is the only car out on track other than Laura Chung right now. She's got the track to herself, and let's see what she's gonna do. Sontag's just gone out.
He's pretty much safe as it is.
Of course. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. That's it. Anderson, Galloway, Kupok, Willows, Griffiths, and Mochin are out of qualifying.
with Federi, of course, because he crashed out.
Yeah, but Federi will be in Q2. He just won't be in the car.
Yeah, so he's pretty much starting P16.
Nevertheless, Wilson down in the first sector a lot. This doesn't matter as long as she keeps it on track, and there are the barriers. She will take part in Q2.
Yeah, that's important.
Half second down on her personal best, but this really doesn't matter.
Yeah, indeed. And of course, again, an Aston Martin in the back last row of the grid, Roland Martin. He's going to be starting last.
Yeah, lucky there. Just as Aston were picking up some momentum. A bit of a shocking wake-up call, really. Either way, Wilson crosses the line. She doesn't improve as expected. Anderson will not start a lap in time. He'll be out because Lopez surpassing his lap the previous run. But 1-0, checkered flag is out. That's the end of the session. Federi will not take part in Q2 even though he was 5th fastest. And Anderson, Galloway, Kipok, Willows, Griffiths and Mochin will definitely not take part in Q2. They don't have the right to take part in it.
Yep, indeed. Sontag is down on his personal best. Well, of course, he's safe, but he's just got to finish the lap.
Yeah, indeed, and keep it out of the barriers as he's got a Red Bull chasing after him. Lots of cars out on track, but it was past the deadline. The checkered flag is already out, so it's just mileage runs. Maybe trying to prepare for the drizzly conditions we got.
Yeah.
Don't forget, 45% chance of rain for Q2, 60% chance of rain for Q3. Zontak runs off his lap, and that is the end of Q1. Hiroshima De Rosa got fastest, and this was a very, very surprising session. It's an Italian top 2 for now, but the ones eliminated from it are Julius Anderson, Jake Galloway, David Kupok, Joseph Willows, Jamie Griffiths, and Roland Mochin. In addition, Andrea Federi, even though he made it through, he crashed, and because of the spare car ban, he won't set a lap in Q2.
Yep, indeed.
So we got our bottom 7 pretty much locked out, unless somebody else crashes before they complete a lap as well.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, that's been it from Q1. Very short break, and we'll get Q2 underway as quick as we can. And confirmation from Miri that if someone does crash in Q2 before setting a lap, it'll be compared to Federi's lap, and that's from Federi's lap. The Q1 laps will be, the 2 Q1 laps, that driver's and Federi's, will be compared to decide who starts ahead. But hopefully, nobody will crash on their first flying lap. Nevertheless, Rak, I believe we're still live, so tell me, what did you think of that session?
I think this was what we'd expected, and we had chaos, and we've had shockers in Jake Galloway and Joseph Willows getting knocked down. We nearly had
Were you
another shocker.
expecting them to be eliminated? Come on.
No, not really, actually. But yeah, wrong place, wrong time. They were just called out just like that, and they were very unlucky.
Yeah, that's true. They'll be taken up for a part in this session, but my goodness, this will be one hell of a qualifying session. Don't forget, both Hesses were in the top 10. That's something else, and De Rosa went fastest.
Unpredictability.
Yeah, Red Bull still look very strong, though, so that's something to keep in mind. Either way, we're just about getting ready for Q2. Of course, here he has to enforce the spare car ban to make sure Federi doesn't think about going out.
Definitely got that one.
And yeah, we'll keep you entertained until we get going, and then the screen will keep you entertained. That's the plan for now, guys.
Indeed, of course, we could have rain again in Q2. Higher chance, of course.
Nevertheless, Joe asked in the chat, so I'm going to ask as well. What's your predictions for Q2 to be eliminated, guys? So I'm going to go out and say, I think a Haas will be eliminated. Just one Haas, not both of them. I think Mercedes will be eliminated. I think who else could be eliminated? I think an AlphaTauri will be eliminated. Wait, are both AlphaTauris through or just the
It's
one?
just one.
Oh yeah, just one. So a Mercedes, an AlphaTauri, a Haas, a Williams will be eliminated,
Yeah.
and two more. A Renault is gonna be eliminated, and I don't even know, man.
Ferrari's of course up, so we're pretty much predicting 5.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, you don't even need to predict Ferrari since it's obvious.
Yeah.
I just said 5. So a Mercedes, a Haas, an AlphaTauri, a Renault, and the Williams is what I said. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Joe. So you already just won't select Ferrari. That's the thing. Functional's prediction is Federic obvious. Gal Zontag, both Haas and the Renault. Xavier's prediction is both Mercedes, both Haas, Zontag, Gal. And he just deleted it actually, so he might change it. Joe's new prediction, because he deleted his previous one, his new prediction is Gal, Sontag, Federi, obviously, both Haas and the Lamborghini. And that's all we got for now. Do keep us updated in the chat, guys, as to your predictions.
The message you deleted wasn't a prediction. Oh, it was the one that you were talking about. You don't really need the spare car and one.
Yeah.
yeah, you delete that one. Yep, he confirmed himself.
Mm. So Xavier's new prediction is both Merc, both Haas, Sontag.
Hmm.
You could make that. You could make that into a rap lyric. Oh right. Thanks, Joe, for the correction. The message he deleted wasn't a prediction. He just made a typo about the spare car system. Haley Bailey. I'm still not sure who that is, and if that person is a guy or a girl. But nevertheless, Haley Bailey's prediction is both Mercs shock, both Red Bulls, one Haas and one Renault with Federe. I'm not sure who Federe is, but I think he means Federi. And that's 7 actually, so
maybe predicted either one of the maybe predicted one of those as one of them to crash.
Before we get going, is that going into OC quads or not?
Anyone can put that in there.
Yeah, probably. Nevertheless, 0 chance of rain, so all the hype we had for wet weather suddenly disappeared, but we do have a little bit of cloud cover, I believe.
Q3 has rain still.
How much?
60%.
Oh, okay, so it remains. Nevertheless, here we go. In Q2, 15 minutes, so we'll definitely not get 4 runs this time. But this will be a very entertaining sessions. The predictions are in, and all that remains is for the drivers to go out.
Yep, you will be the first one to go out on track.
Of course, that position will be key. Don't forget, De Rosa went out first last time, and he ended up fastest because he didn't catch any traffic. Of course, there are less cars than in the previous session, so the likelihood of you getting traffic is a little bit lower. Nevertheless, it behooves you well to avoid traffic, as Chang is the first one to go out on track. But don't forget, that going out first can be quite advantageous. It looks like is Daniel Fraser. I thought it was Rahul Patel there for a second. No, it's Daniel Fraser who's also going out. That's his Roman Quag.
Yep.
One of
Quag.
the two Alfa Romeos in Q2, but the only Alfa Romeo driving in Q2.
Yes.
Now we got a whole lot of our cars on track, so we'll keep an eye on the table for sector splits. Meanwhile, Laura Chung, she's just getting her tires up to temperature and focus for the lap. Lamborghini finally got both cars through the Q3 for the first time in Spain, if I'm not mistaken, and they'll be hoping to do it again. In my prediction, I didn't have any Lamborghini getting eliminated, so we'll see if that comes true or not. Either way, 13 cars out on track, we're waiting for 2 more. No, sorry, 12 cars, not 13. We're waiting for 3 more. As for Anthony Noakes, she goes, and Laura Chung is about to begin this lap. This is the longest flat-out section of the track, pretty much. Well, not the longest, but the main overtaking spot you get, I guess you could say. And Laura Chung has begun her lap, nice run into Sandoval. Maybe a little cautious, I'd say, but in towards Massenet. Hard on the left there, and that's some very good turning in the first sector. Down towards Mirabeau, doesn't dart to the right to avoid the bump. As expected, careful into the hairpin, and no bumps there. She's kept it all clean, 22.7 in the first sector. We'll keep an eye out on the other sector splits, as Miklos Gall sets 22.7, so they're actually matching each other. Might not be good news for Chunk to know she's being matched by an AlphaTauri, and nevertheless, Franco Gamba is.
Well, Lopez is still in the garage.
What's going on? Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, there was Lopez didn't go out for some reason. There was a little bit of a problem. We're gonna restart Q2. I thought Lopez got selected. That's why. Were you trying to give Lopez the ultimate cheats and actually drive as him? Because here he is the best video game player. He's the best sim racer in the world. So whichever driver he controls will automatically take pole by 2 seconds. So that's why, to make it fair on the others, Yeri has decided to not select Lopez anymore.
Oh, now we have rain.
Oh my gosh. A little glitch.
Right.
We thought we could keep the rain away with a little glitch. Now I corrected the glitch, and the rain is here.
Here we go again.
This isn't like real life. In the meantime, we cannot edit the time. We cannot edit the timer. So it'll be another 15 minutes. That 3 or so minutes we lost, we got him back. So 15 minutes of Q2, take 2, and this time with some wet weather.
Yep, indeed. So we'll see which tires they're gonna go out, either on inters, normal wets, even the different compound on the normal wets on the extremes. I don't think it's the extremes. It's normal wets.
Yeah, for now, things can and probably will change. Even though it's a short session, this will be a very entertaining ride. I'm gonna keep the predictions I made, because it would be unfair to make. You and I made the predictions when we didn't know what the weather was gonna be like. So I'm sticking with my prediction. If you guys in the chat want to change yours, then feel free to do it. I'm not stopping you, but I'm going to remain with my prediction. Normal wets, of course, for the drivers, but if somebody is brave enough to try inters, he or she might strike some gold. Chris Chatfield going out on the normal wets, no surprise. Though the sky doesn't appear that terrible, the track is definitely got some wet weather. Some standing water, I mean.
Yep, indeed. Chatford, the first one to go on track. Next is Laura Chunk, then Amelia Wilson. They're also now on track.
Be
followed by
very
Sontag.
mindful because in these conditions and at this track, it's so easy to make a mistake. And if somebody screws up their flying lap, they might be handing Andrea Federi one place forward on the grid. Nevertheless, Lopez, he has not been selected this time, so he will be preparing to go out, but Kat's going out first. And in the wet, it's a whole different kind of fish to what it is in the dry here in Monaco. You obviously can't take those very aggressive lines we saw from the drivers in Sector 1. And everything else, if you thought Monaco in the dry was hard enough, in the wet, it's 10 times harder, I'd say.
Yep.
As a
Indeed.
certain someone who I'm not sure we should or should not name considering recent controversies said about Monaco, driving at Monaco in the wet is like bicycling in a bathtub. Nevertheless, here goes Chris Chatfield to start the first lap of this renewed Q2, and very tentative, tiptoeing pretty much into Sandevot. It's still fab up the hill here, but you have to be very careful not to turn in too much and not to offsell the car. It's so easy. He's still taking lines that resemble the dry conditions, but at different speed, of course. Sector 1 will be slower, so let's see what it'll be like, not just for him, but for the others as well. 26.9, 12,000 slower, and that would have been a 27. But it's looking good for Chatfield Stone now, depends on what the others do. As Prix goes into Portier, very tentative. Avoids the wall there on X, though came very close to it. But appears to be fastest out of the 3 people we've had so far. The other 2 being Chung and Wilson. Zontag's also slower than Chatfield as he's gone with 47.2 in the middle sector. Into the swimming pool. Take extreme care because the first part of it isn't flat anymore. Looks like Chatfield is fastest after all right now. He's the only one in 27s. In fact, Felix Zontag had 20, but Chatfield had a little bit of a moment there into Raskas. Might cost him a little bit of time. But it looks like he's projected to go fastest for the moment. Here goes Chatfield, it's a 1 minute 24.1. I don't think anybody can beat it at the moment, but we'll see. Laura Chung next across the line, she was down on him in both sectors. And will she be down on him at the end of Sector 3 given his error in Raskas? She'll still be down, yes, by a second. Millie Wilson, next across the line, she goes third only in the Haas. As Hiroshima De Rosa goes second, gets in front of Chung just barely. The man on top, Q1. Felix Zontag next crossing the line, and this is terrible. He is down in 5th, 4 seconds off the pace as Roman Quag goes second, 4 tenths down. Byron goes into 3rd, so it's the front row from Barcelona revived in a way as the Red Bulls have sent their drivers out at the worst possible time. They send them out right next to each other, and as a result, both of them are behind Wilson there, 7th and 8th respectively. Pernian goes 7th, make that 8th, because Fraser's got in front, and now Patel gets in 6th. Fraser's 2 seconds exactly slower than Chatfield, but here we have Armarka.
Yep,
and Ka is struggling a lot. He's down in 10th. Lopez, meanwhile, still struggling, but only in 7th. Gal goes to the P6. That's a very impressive time. And at the moment, as things stand, Chris Chatfield is fastest from Roman Quag. The more things change, the more they stay the same.
Yep, and in the drop zone is Jesus Perinin, Armor Car, George Roque, Franco Gamba, and Felix Sontag.
Somehow, both Hasses are making it through at the moment.
Yep, indeed, and Red Bull deciding to get their drivers out near each other hasn't worked.
Confirmation also that Andrea Federi will start in P16.
Yep, indeed. We will be.
Zonta could have gone 2 minutes slower. It didn't matter. As long as he set time on the board in Q2, he would be ahead of Federi on the grid.
Yes. The Cotifi way.
To go slow deliberately.
Yes.
Okay. Either way, as things stand, very entertaining. Pernian, Car, Rogue, Gamma, Yellows.
What the hell is that? Oh,
there's a big crash from both Red Bulls.
And they're
You
both
gotta be
out.
kidding me.
They're both out now. Both Red Bulls are out of qualifying.
They threw away a very good result in Portugal. They might have just thrown it away once again here in Monaco. Rule 1, never hit your teammate. Rule 2, never crash in Monaco. And they broke both rules at the same time.
Wow. I can't believe that has just happened now. This is going to be stern words between the pair of them. Gamba went for a gap. He should know that Roke is coming in. But no, he didn't back out. Just
What a disaster for
committed.
Red Bull.
And both of them are in the elimination zone, of course. So at best 13th and 14th. But if Sontag improves, and they could be down to 14th and 15th.
Yeah, indeed. Quite a big surprise that both Red Bulls were out there. Red Bull catastrophe, says Dennis. And do remember, there's a soft normal wet and a hard normal wet. So the spare car ban doesn't go into effect.
Like I was said before we put that spare car ban in action, a pit lane glitch does not count into that spare car ban, so the Red Bull survived this.
Looks
Okay,
like
now.
people have gotten a lifeline there.
Yep, indeed, they
The spare car ban
actually.
doesn't go into effect in this instance because the pit lane glitch. So the Red Bulls will be resuming the session.
Yep, so they survive. Of course, they get away with it.
Yeah, only just. No, controversial way, indeed.
Pretty much the best way to take each other out.
You could say that. And I crashed in a Red Bull in the exact same way at the same corner in the 2014 race, so I don't even want to talk trash about them. Nevertheless, Chris Stratfield, the man comfortably in command this session, goes out. And just like last time in Q1, the guy who went out first ended up being fastest. He's staying fastest right now, but the conditions could shift.
Is the conditions getting worse? That's the big question here.
Be entertaining to watch, as nobody dares go out on the inters. But this is the normal wet, if I'm not mistaken. So Chris Stratfield is on track, so is De Rosa, so is Rogue. Saved there by a technicality in the rules is George Rogue and Franco Gamba, both of them, as Gamba's just gone out, this time with a little bit of space between himself and his teammate. But yeah, both Red Bulls will have another chance to go after the shootout positions, and look at them out of spray. I think the conditions have actually gotten worse.
Yeah, I think they have, but we will see down to the lap times. If it is, then yeah, it doesn't really affect much for the Red Bulls.
Indeed, so they might yet regret that Mazda was the first lap, as we got pit crew man being ran over by Chatfield. Somehow, no blood splattered all over the place there. Nevertheless, Chris Chatfield will be beginning his lap right now. And how are the conditions really? Is it faster, is it slower, or is it just about the same?
We'll find out. I don't know if anyone has gone to the extremes. I don't know, but
There would
we
be
will
no point,
see
it'd be
later.
slower. As in the first sector, we're watching Chris Chatfield keeping it neat and tidy so far, and at the sector split, he's just under 2/10 off the pace. So I don't think this is representative of the conditions. I think this is just down to him having a slower lap. So this means there's definitely potential for improvements. No rain, of course, in the tunnel, so you gotta keep careful not to overheat your tires in there. And yeah, Chatfield's pace isn't that terrible. Maybe 2/10 down, but that's on his own car pace, on his own lap, not on the weather being atrocious. So what do you
Yeah,
think, Ra? Will we see some improvements?
we might. We might see some improvements. I mean, he didn't lose that much time in the middle sector, which is a good thing at least. So there is signs of improvement. So could be
Don't
some
forget the
lifelines
middle
there.
sector is just 3 corners on this track version, but nevertheless, Chris Chatfield will be finishing his lap across the line he goes, and he wasn't too far down at all. George Roque is on a massive improvement, and let's see where he's gonna end up. Can he get himself to safety this time and avoid any teammate shenanigans? Yes, he can. He goes to the third place, knocks Fraser into the drop zone. Speaking of Fraser, he's tying a lap in traffic. Hiroshima De Rosa is next.
And he goes up to 5th.
Evan Byrne looks a little bit slow here. Let's see if he's impeding Roman Quagg a lot.
Yep, indeed.
Goes
Burn doesn't
down.
improve.
That's Quagg doesn't provide. And here goes Franco Gamba. Can he send Emily Wilson to a drop zone? Yes. Felix Zontag might be looking at a big improvement here, given that he was 4 seconds down the previous lap. He improves, but stays in last. 5/9 of a second. That was enough to move up 1 place. Rahul Patel will be next across the line. He is currently safe with P9, and he's going to stay there for the time being. Laura Chung is up next. His teammate, across the line she goes, stays in P7. And Wheeler Wilson is next. She's impeding a Mercedes behind of Lopez. These start 10th and 11th and stay 10th and 11th.
Yep, indeed.
Lopez lost a heap of time in the last sector due to the traffic as Chatfield's coming into the pits. But I have to say, their Red Bull have dodged the bullet. Meanwhile, Miklos Gal, as he's following up a train of cars here, looks like, even if he doesn't improve right now, he's projected to go through to the next session. Incredible in the AlphaTauri.
At the moment, yeah. Perrin
Perrin-
could be out as well. Yeah,
Bernard
that's
and Fraser
a
have
shock.
both improved, but with the traffic, it wasn't nowhere near enough. As Armar, who is in the drop zone right now, is not in the drop zone anymore. He's gone to the second. He's gone to the front row.
Yeah, he might have knocked the Lopez out, but we will have to wait and see.
And yes, meanwhile, Zontag is coming into the pits. I'm not sure how many of these people are going to get their third run in.
Yeah, so Patel could be safe, but I don't know.
I wonder where he cares so much about Patel being safe. Just kidding.
You what, mate?
Nothing. Nevertheless, we still got 3 minutes to go in this session. The 1 minute 30 mark should probably be the limit, so keep an eye out on that.
Oh, with yellow flag, of course, that's... Yep,
Wilson has crashed, but it's the pit lane glitch, so
yeah,
spare car ban will not go into effect for her.
maybe that's a good thing for her.
She's been punted by Lopez. And yeah, of course, no grid penalties because these are just due to the track being, how should I say this? Shit. Nevertheless.
Nothing else to say.
Yeah, pretty much. Patel just about safe at the moment. He will be going out on track. Lopez and Wilson, I think both of them will make it, but it's a little touch and go. Armarka, I don't think he's gonna make it. I don't think he can go out in time again.
But Chatwood has time.
But Ka is not in danger, so even if he doesn't go out, he'll be just fine.
Yeah. Will anyone else get on track?
Ka looks to have cleaned up. Not cleaned. Yeah, cleared up a little bit.
Yep, we have 2 minutes to go.
Just about 25 seconds or so until the mark,
Yes,
as
someone else.
Chatfield's around over the bump there.
Yep, someone else is on track. It's Felix Sontag.
Trying for a miracle.
Anyone else? It's De Rosso's are on track.
Just about a few seconds to go until that pivotal moment. Is anybody else thinking to go out on track? Now would be the only chance left. It's Roach. Roko's gone out, as is Franco Gamba. Close to each other once again, but that is it.
I think
So,
that could be it.
Franco Lopez, Emilio Wilson, Daniel Fraser, Hesperinen, and maybe Felix Zontag have all been eliminated. For Zontag, it'll depend a lot on if he can improve and find 2 seconds on his personal best or not to knock out Patel.
Pretty
If he
much the
can't find-
biggest. Keep going.
It'd take an absolute miracle for him to find 2 seconds and knock out Patel, but he has the time. So let's see if he can pull it off as Chris Sheffield begins his final lap of Q2.
Yeah, indeed. Pretty much the biggest shock here is Ace sprinted 14th and knocked out.
Yeah, big shocker there indeed. Roman Kwok once again doing incredibly well in the meantime.
Yep, and also Mikos Gal is into Q3 for AlphaTauri.
Very impressive. Meanwhile, the 2 Red Bulls were very, very touch and go there. And I think Lopez and Wilson might be wishing that the 2 Red Bulls didn't go out again, and Sheffield suffered from a major bump there on the run down towards the lowest hairpin, so he's way down.
Yep.
Clearly running an aggressive suspension setup because not all drivers struggle over that bump, but Chatfield has been really struggling here in Q2. Look how far down he is, 6 tenths. We'll have to keep an eye on Zontag as the checker flag is out. I feel like Zontag can improve. He's going to need to find 1.2 seconds to climb just 1 place, never mind get out Q2. If he wants to improve knockout Patel, he's going to need to find 2 seconds. Easier said than done, but it ain't over till it's over.
Yep, indeed. Chatfield.
Here he goes. This lap is a complete write-off, but once again, the guy who's gone first out onto the track was fastest. As Chris Chatfield crosses the line, doesn't improve, but it doesn't honestly matter. Franco Lopez and Miklos Gal won't be starting a lap in time, and Sontag is down by 3 tenths. He's going to need the last sector of the gods if he wants to improve and knock out Patel.
Yep, indeed.
Stand and watch for the greatest 3rd sector of Monaco of all time. No, just kidding.
Okay.
Roke has crashed!
What has just happened there?
Roke has crashed! That's what happened.
Yeah, but how the hell has this happened? Okay,
Transfer back of the Haas.
Oh, was it? No, he was hit by his teammate again!
These guys can't stop, can they?
Yeah, he's now. That should be confirmed, right, Yuri? You should be out. Yeah. Yeah, well done, Franco Gamba. You've just taken out your teammates. I'm not going to say anything rude about it, but I don't want to call them names. Sorry, because... No.
But these guys have been glued to each other, and not in a good way today.
It's
the 2nd time they collided, and this time it wasn't even a glitch. George Rogue out of qualifying. I don't even think it was his fault.
That's not his fault. He was just backing up from the Haas. And Franco Gamba just reacted very late. Oh, De Rosa actually did improve, goes up to 7th.
It didn't matter either way. And that is the end for Q2. Chris Chatfield is fastest from Amarka and Roman Kwok. George Roque was 4th, but he'll be 10th on the grid because his teammate had the brilliant idea of wiping him out. And by brilliant, I mean completely horrible. The drivers who were eliminated are Franco Lopez, Emilio Wilson, Daniel Fraser, Hesperin, Felix Zontag, and of course Andrea Federi. Miklos Gal making it through in the meantime. That was brilliant. Sorry, can you say that again, now?
Okay.
Can you say it again because I didn't understand?
Sorry, can you repeat what you said?
Yeah, I was just saying who got eliminated. And I was saying that Gal did extremely well to actually make it through Q3.
Yeah, indeed, and of course he's pretty much going to be 9th or better if he gets if he does a lap in Q3.
Yeah, and the Red Bulls, what the bleep are they thinking?
They got lucky first time, but they just couldn't stay away from each other the 2nd time.
Yeah, and I think that's Franco Lopez fuming. Maybe Milo Wilson as well, I'm not sure, but definitely Franco Lopez fuming. Yeah, the antics of those Red Bulls have cost him a spot in Q3 because, yeah, if they had crashed at any other point, as they seem to have a predisposition for crashing today and with each other. Lopez would have made it through, maybe Wilson as well. But as it stands, both Red Bulls are through Q3, but only one will drive in it.
Yeah, indeed.
And it won't be the one who caused the collision.
Yeah.
Joe said, "Wow, last time I checked, the pit lane is not at the chicane, lol."
I don't think I was mentioning that.
Yeah, never mind.
And I never said. I was just confirm. I just wanted Yuri's confirmation if he would be out. And yeah.
Yeah, it's understandable. Nevertheless, we're gonna get ready for Q3 with just 9 cars, but it should be a fun one.
Why is it so laggy?
I'm not sure.
What the?
Yeah, sorry for the silence. We're waiting just as eagerly as you are, guys, for Q3. And let's hear your predictions. Who do you think is gonna take pole this time? I was going to go for Rogue, but Franco made me pick another one.
Yeah.
So
Again,
I'm going to go for Armor Ka to take pole position. Actually,
um, I don't know who I'm gonna go for.
you don't know yet. All right. Well, you guys in the chat let us know your predictions. And thank you, thank you, Franco, for ruining my prediction there. I had to pick another one. I hope you don't crash into him as well, but nevertheless. Yeah, just waiting for this session. If it remains wet, could be anyone really on pole. Is it still lagging on my end? Oh my god, Ra, that is such a roast. I'm not even gonna read it because it's so rude. It's so rude what you said there, but I'm not gonna read it. But I have to agree, but oh my goodness. Nevertheless, I'm not gonna read it, but you can read it if you want to.
Why
Dennis
should I
is,
read it?
because I don't wanna. Dennis is predicting a Chatfield poll once again.
I wonder why.
Meanwhile, I got some nice stuff in OC quotes. So there's that. Look at the OC quotes channel if you're on Discord. I'll give you a fun laugh or two. Nevertheless, yeah, we're just waiting for this session. And yeah, not sure what I can say really.
Yeah, indeed.
Jesus looking disappointed, of course, after being knocked out. I feel
Heavy
you.
rain, of course.
Welcome, Jesus, to the chat. Kirill says the fastest driver will get pole. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, he's 100% not wrong.
True. So the chance of rain is pretty damn high.
Again, laggy.
Can it possibly get any worse than this area, or is it the worst conditions possible? Because we might have extremes on track.
So it's pretty
All
much
right.
it's a point for the first one. Okay, yeah,
So the
first one's
first
pretty
one
much a
might be
point.
decisive. Xavier predicts Chatfield for pole again. Funktionok says De Rosa pole. Zach says Laura pole because reasons. Ezo says Rock pole. Whenever chose the team up, I guess. Evan says anyone but me for pole. So that's you gotta pick. There's 8 other names. Evan, give us one. And yeah, I'm just looking through the chat. I hope you didn't select anybody this time, Ere.
I think it's Laura Chung coming out first.
Yep, indeed. Here she goes. Once again, both Lamborghinis in Q3. And could they perhaps take their second ever pole position? One of their
It could be
drivers today will be
possible.
interesting.
Could
Maybe.
happen.
But if the conditions are going to get worse, the first lap will be crucial. And if the conditions are going to get worse, the first one on that first lap will have the biggest advantage. And as you've seen in Q1 and Q2, even though they were in drastically different conditions, whoever went out first ended up going fastest. Is it going to happen for Q3 as well? Or will the streak break?
Yep, indeed. We will wait and see what happens.
Yeah. We are on the extremes, of course, so there's no room for error. And yeah, not sure what to say, really. Just hoping there won't be any collisions, though having said that, there probably will.
Yeah.
Archango was on personal pole, of course, in Barcelona before. She had a little bit of a damage with following a collision with Pernian, and wait, was she faster or was she on the front row? I think she was just on the front row originally, but and after that collision, the spare carbine went into effect, so she can improve. But she still got on the podium. Let's see if she can go for pole this time. And towards Sandevot, very, very cautious, braking about 200 meters early to avoid aquaplaning, which in these conditions is a serious killer. Through the left of Massenet, taking a wide line on entry. Very strange, and slowing down quite substantially to make sure she actually makes the corner, very close to the wall there. Not avoiding the bump, I should have said, as in towards the Lowe's hairpin. Will she be a victim of the bump? Yes, and she's lost some time there. 27.8 in the first sector. We'll check the other guys' second times and compare them to Chang's effort. As who will be next to set time? It'll be Evan Byrne, I think. And he appears to be holding up Armar Kai, I think. No, he's not holding up Kyle. 28.2, 27.9 for Patel. So Chang's still fastest, 48.7 in the middle sector for her. But Patel might be quicker if he didn't mess up the hairpin. As through the back she goes. Now through the swimming pool, not flat anymore. Extreme caution here, especially with the turn in. It looks like Chung is not. Wait. She is fast in the first sector for now. And in the second sector as well, this might actually be pole for Laura Chung if she can just keep it together nicely in the last sector. Depends, of course, on what the other drivers do as well, because Roman Quagg is looking quite quick as well. So this will be interesting as Chung crosses the line. It's a 1 minute 26.8. Evan Byrne will be next to cross the line, and he's not looking too competitive right now. He's 4 tenths down in S2. Putting a wheel through the barrier there. Thankfully, the contact didn't register on the hitbox. But Byrne crosses the line. He'll go into second, of course. Rahul Patel goes half a second slower than Chung. Nicholas Gall is up next. And what is he gonna do? He's gonna go fourth in the AlphaTauri. Amar Khan goes second after being not impeded. Roman Quagg goes third. Hiroshima De Rosa, where is he going to go? The man who topped Q1. As he crosses the line, he'll go behind Chung. He goes third. Franco Gamba, the naughty boy today, could be going off for pole here.
Yep. And
it's pole, massive margin, 1.2 seconds. Can Chris Stratfield do anything about that? I don't think so, but he could go into the front row. He goes third. So Chung in second, but after the first run is done, Franco Gamba is on provisional pole. And a little naughty.
Yep, indeed. Franco Gamba on provisional pole. We don't know if if they can improve in
Hey,
the next
Haley
runs, but
Bailey
we'll
said
see.
chunk pole in the meantime, and
Wow,
Joe being very shocked to that massive lap from Franco. But after being all over the place in Q2, it looks like Franco Gamba has finally woken up.
interesting tactics.
Yeah, not having his biggest competitor on the Q3 roster is definitely an interesting way to make sure you get pole.
Yeah,
Nevertheless, this session is not over.
yeah, indeed.
No grid penalties, of course. Those are only for crashes in the previous races. You don't penalize anything that happens in qualifying. As Laura Chung, very good to be on the front row for her. Raul Patel is struggling a little bit, but can find some time. I think he isn't that far behind Quag. If he can just find a tenth and a bit, might get all the way up in fourth place.
Indeed, but we'll have to wait and see. It depends on if the track gets worse, we might not see any improvements. But if it stays as it is, we could see some.
Yeah, very well said. As Rahul Patel is just about ready to go out again. But waiting a little.
Just waiting.
Yeah. Pretty sure Pernin and Carr Gamba's newest rivals, lol. Yeah, I was just talking about Joe is referring to me saying Gamba wiped out his closest competitor. Yeah, I know, but we know Red Bull is the fastest car, so that's why I was referencing that. He already said Gamba in his villain era.
Yes.
Evan says first taking on his teammate and then gimmick infringement. Which one was the gimmick infringement? The pit lane entry collision or what?
Choose between the two. We see the Lamborghini mechanics getting ready. As the person
Gamba's going
on
out
track is
first this time.
Franco Gamba. Yeah.
He's not waiting for anybody.
And Patel next on track.
He won't be having any traffic like this, so good placement. But Gamba is on pole by a massive margin right now. I don't think that lap is beatable unless the conditions improve massively. But even if they do, what's gonna stop him from going even faster?
Yeah. We will wait once the lap times are in, but yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Just under 7 minutes to go. Chatfield stayed in the pits, so he's gambling on a later run, it seems.
Maybe, but he is coming out on track now.
So maybe he's not gambling on anything then. So yeah, Chatfield has gone out. And maybe, I think a lot of people will be praying that the rain lightens up.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, I don't think Franco Gamba is one of those people. He's going out for a second lap again, and he's gone very wide into Rascas. If another car was there, they would have crashed, but thankfully there wasn't another car. Either way, Gamba begins his lap, and he doesn't even have to finish the lap. I don't think anybody can beat him as things stand, but I could very well be wrong with 6 minutes to go. Take us for the lap if you want.
Yep. Yes, now he's going for Massenet. And
This looks like a very weak first sector. He's 2 seconds off the pace. Well, if this is it, well, I hope this is because of him being slow, not because of the conditions. Joe says Joe says he thinks Ra died nearly halfway through that lull. We're looking at the other people's sector times to see if the track has gotten worse. It looks like it. They're also 1.7 seconds down. So this session might just about be over. Now about 3 seconds of the pace right now. And I think this will be the most controversial pole position of the season. What do you think? I'm going to assume you don't think anything of it. Ray Franco got by 6 seconds off the pace. This track is definitely gotten much worse. Krog will be in P6 on the grid as fixed, and Chung will be on the front row, so Lamborghini have every right to be happy with that. Nicolas Gall, I don't think he expects to qualify P9 here in Monaco, but he will. Evan Byrne, nothing he can do there. Come on, the track is atrocious. As Ra has just left, seeing how atrocious the track conditions are, and Ra has just come back.
I can hear you.
Yeah. But our Marca is next to finish this lap, and there's no point even looking if he improves because he doesn't. Yeah. As I was saying, well, you had issues with the mic or something or connection. I think this will be the most controversial part of the season so far.
But yeah, I think it is, considering the fact that Franco Gamba took his teammate out, and we would have not known where George Roque would have been.
Yeah, absolutely right. And Lamborghini, I think they've got to be happy with front row in Monaco. That's incredible from Chung. Chapter once again qualifying well, but you can't ignore the massive difference between P1 and P2. 1.2 seconds.
Yeah, indeed. It was a good lap from Franco Gamba. He hooked it up pretty well. And
He's coming into the pits already. He knows there's no point continuing this session.
Yep, indeed.
And breaking news, if you've seen the OC Twitter, Monaco will lose the Cornerstone race test after this race. It doesn't necessarily mean it will be dropped, but it could be for future seasons.
Yep. Now, just waiting for the clock to tick down, just to have full confirmation of Franco Gamba that he's taking pole position.
Yep, as if I don't think we even needed the confirmation, but we're gonna get it nevertheless. Some bloke might go out on track, but it really doesn't matter.
Yep, indeed.
It'll probably just be an exhibition lap for the fans.
And yep, we have confirmation. Franco Gamba does take pole position for tomorrow's Monaco Grand Prix.
In a controversial manner, but a pole is a pole, and I think you'll be very happy with that. Red Bull might not be so happy, considering what happened in Q2, but what can I say? Gal has gone out, but not with enough time left.
Yep, indeed. Of course, he's going to be starting in ninth. Of course, it's going to be Alpha Tavi's best ever qualifying session of the season.
Oh, Joe was saying last time I checked, Chung was in the session, Rob. Oh yeah, right. Still, the session is over. Sorry if I forgot Changa there, drove, didn't mean to. But nevertheless, there's not enough time for anybody. And even if there was, there's not enough lap time for anybody. Track conditions are too terrible. And once we get to the end of this, once everybody crosses the line, we'll, you know what we're gonna do. We're gonna go back and rewind to Franco Gamba's pole lap, and we're gonna keep quiet. But until we do, let's count down the final 5 seconds of this session. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Checker flag is out, and for the 5th time, confirmation, Franco Gamba is on pole today for tomorrow's Monaco Grand Prix. Now, we are gonna rewind, and we're gonna keep quiet, and we're gonna let you watch his pole time in the full weather conditions. And that is how Franco Gamba went up fastest in Q3 and got pole position. Q3 was a little bit more boring because the real action happened in Q2 when I think, when he collided with George Rogan twice. And I think this will be a very controversial pole, but it's still a very well-deserved pole for Franco Gamba. He had incredible pace in Q3, and no one can match up to him. So here we go. Down the front row is going to be Franco Gamba and Laura Chang in second. Third pole of the season for Franco, and a long way away from anybody else. Chris Chatfield in third, Armarka fourth, Joshua Mendoza P5, Roman Quag P6, Rahul Patel 7th on the grid, with Owen Byrne right behind him. Nicholas Gal in a season best of P9, he'll be very happy with that. George Roque, what a shame. He might have had a shot pole, we'll never know. Because of the collision in Q2, he'll be starting P10 on the grid. He didn't get to do a lap. But that's been it from this session around Monaco, and we expected craziness, and we got what we wanted.
Yeah, indeed.
Well, I am tired as well. I think you guys might be a little as well, but yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. Obviously, you won't be hearing from us tomorrow because the live race doesn't have commentary and the highlights will be done by George, as per usual. But yeah, thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. This has been a roller coaster ride, and I'm more as for every roller coaster ride, you're exhausted at the end of it, as am I right now. So thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. We will see you again because let's not forget we are 1 week away from the 2021 OC Indy 500. It's gonna be very exciting. Don't forget until midnight. You got until midnight to submit your custom liveries. Today is the deadline for the Indy 500 liveries, so it's your last chance. If you still haven't done it and want to do it, hurry up, because you don't have much time left. But yeah, thank you very much, guys, and we'll see you again soon.
Goodbye.